Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Rebuilding Vicenza. What can I tell you? The struggle is real. Since you were last with us, we have been on a horrific run of form. We've got beat in nearly every game as we've gone along. Yeah, it's been awful. It's been horrendous. It's been demoralising. We did pick up a win against Sassuolo. And again, they're the fixtures we need to pick them up. So when you look through the fixture list, Lazio, Inter, who we're going to have in this episode, a point from any of them would be brilliant. I don't see us getting 3 points out of any of them. What we're more interested in is Perugia, Brescia, Spezia, Cagliari, Empoli. That run of 5 games there, that's where we make or break the season. Between there, no, because we beat Spezia, Empoli, had a couple draws. Then that month in October, Roma, Torino, Milan, Atalanta. I mean, we did come close. We played heavy defensive in all them games. We just couldn't hold on for the full match. So, yeah. Well, there's our clicking through, get ready to the game. We're just going past the January transfer window. We don't have any money for signings. We're not going to be able to bring anybody else in. We're still £6,000 over the wage budget. I was just looking at this goalkeeper. It would have been a great addition to the squad. Really cheap, 32 years of old, so he'd have a couple years in him from now as well. So he would have been a massive upgrade. We just not got the funds. If we'd been playing a longer term save, I'd have probably tried to juggle some stuff around and squeeze him in. But yeah, we've not got it for this. So we'll just get into it. We'll get into the game. So stay tuned, and I will get us for the first starting lineup. And here we go, starting lineup for the first game away at Lazio. We've got Grandi in goals, Ranieri at left back, Sabelli at right back, Cappelletti and Edelchiro at the centre of defence, with Proer, Milanese and Van der Put in the midfield. We have had a slight formation change to fit Van der Put in, a young Belgian midfielder who's actually got quite a bit of promise. We brought him in to give us a bit more attacking options. Traore on the left wing, Yallow's coming on the right wing. We've been forced into that change because Lombardi, who's normally out there, has broke his ankle. And Del Monte's coming up front in place of Moncini, who just wasn't scoring enough goals. I mean, he's had a fair run now, coming up to 20 games. He's only got 4 goals. So we made a change. We'll put Del Monte up there and give him a bit of a run out. Defensive mentality, because we are holding on for our lives against a much stronger opposition. Again, we're playing short passing. We're trying to hold possession. We're trying to frustrate them. And then if we can, we're talking corners, free kicks, just hitting them on the break. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do. 2 tough games, Lazio and Inter Milan. Anything more than 0 points is a bonus. 0 points is probably what we're expecting. So, yeah, stick with it. We might cause an upset. My fingers will be crossed. I'll be hoping and cheering as the game goes on. Especially the longer the game holds out. What I found is the games against... we've got to go draw against Fiorentina, for example, as the game went on and on and on. When you get into them final minutes, it gets nervy, gets high pressure. You like a hawk on your players' form and condition. And yeah, a point at Fiorentina was fantastic, probably one of the highlights of the season so far. It just creeps us out of the relegation zone. But first corner for Lazio. They get to recycle it back in, and it's gone wide. So again, 16 minutes, bit of a scare as they get another corner. And again, it's away, so we have to be wary. We've been doing well. We've been defending well. I think that kind of central unit there is probably our strongest part of the team. I think up front is where we don't have a prolific striker. Moncini, I thought, might come on, might develop and be that guy for us, but unfortunately he's not. Lazio have taken a lead then. Yeah, they're just a better side than us. It's hard, it's tough, and from playing lower league football in England and working your way up the leagues, you get moments like this where you go up a division and you've got a period of settlement. If you don't have the funds to dramatically turn that team around and churn your players over, it's very, very difficult. And one of the things that I have learned from the Italian squad and with Vicenza is the squad sizes, including the youth players, are all quite substantial. And really, you need, with your lower league clubs, to hold on to as small a squad as you can to maximise your wage budgets, and hold player fitnesses and rely on a little bit of luck so you can get the quality of player you need. If you're spending a lot of money on youth teams and players who aren't touching your first team, you're wasting money that you could be spending on your first team, which are valuable as you come towards the end of the season. So saying that, Lazio have got their second goal now. It's it's expected. We just got to try and keep morale high. Try and maybe hit them on the break. We'll get to half time. We might go a little bit more balanced at half time to try and get a goal of our own. See if we can unsettle their nerves a little bit and try and get our way back into the game. We've got 84% possession, but it's what you do with it. And when they're getting the ball, they're just going straight through us like butter. So into half time then, we'll see the state of the players. I'm already thinking Del Monte might come off. We might give Mancini a much needed run out. He's frustrated not being in the team, but we need to find the right balance. So we'll go into a bit more of a positive approach because we're 2-0 down. We need to find a way to get a goal. And we will make a couple of substitutions. So we'll get Del Monte off. Where's Mancini? And then Traore probably for Giacomelli. And we'll see if we can make a little bit of difference going into the second half. And at least try and up our XG from 0.06, which isn't great. But again, a lot of these games, especially away at Lazio and away at the big teams, is just trying not to concede a goal, trying to stay in the game as long as you can, fighting for points. It's very tough. Don't get me wrong, I love this version of the game. It's the first time I think I've managed from lower league in a foreign country for a long time. So it's been interesting. But I'm maybe not as familiar with some of the players as I'm in lower league England. And I'm actually really looking forward now to the new Unemployed to Unstoppable starting on the 9th of November. So keep an eye out for that when it comes in. We'll be starting Unemployed as we always do and seeing if we can rattle our way up to the Premier League. Perhaps win some trophies this time around. We didn't make it to a trophy in FM21. We won some lower league division trophies. I think we won the National League. We won the FA Trophy 2 seasons in a row. But again, we'll be looking to do something similar. So stay tuned for that. We'll also be finishing off the season for Vicenza before the 9th of November. That'll be the conclusion of the rebuild in Vicenza. If we can keep them in the division, as far as I'm concerned, that's a success. To take a club that was mid to bottom table expectancy from the pre-season in Serie B, to get them promoted in the first season was monumental. And if we can stick with it, grind out some results against the lower teams, the bottom half teams, so to speak, and stay in the division, then again, I think that's a successful season because it will build the club stature that allow us to get higher wage budgets as the seasons move on. And if I was playing to save long term, I'd be more invested in it. I think that half the problem is because I know that this is the end of the season for it, I'm not too concerned about contracts or buying in high potential players. I need players who can do it now. And I'm not interested in the high potential youngsters because I'm never going to see what they come to. Whereas in the full version of the game, when we start a new save, we'll be very much looking at bringing in the high potential players and invested in a club's growth. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for when they come out. 15 minutes to the end of the game. Very much backs against the wall. Playing out from the back, trying to hold on to the ball. Nedel Chiru, he's one of my favourites actually. I think he's a really good centre-half. Mancini, again, he's let me down a little bit. Milanese is a great player in the middle of the park. G-Check, who we bought in the first season, is developing into a good player as well. Yallow's not really had a run out since he came back from loan. Again, we're playing the ball around well, we just can't really penetrate their back line. You see how tight they are in there, how they move around. Milanese through with a chance now. Oh, and he's got a goal back. Again, it's probably too little too late. But what we like to see is a great passage of play. We can do it. We've got the players to do it. We can dominate possession. It's just finding and picking the right passes, getting the ball in the attacking areas, and getting the players to put the ball in the back of the net. Milanese, again, he's a fantastic player. We've got him in on loan. I can't see us ever getting him beyond this season. He's 20 on loan from Roma. I think we do have a 7 million buy if you want at the end of the season clause as part of that loan deal. Whether we can rustle up 7 million before the end of the season, I'm not quite convinced. You never know though. And again, I probably would have tried if I was playing another season, but we'll take it as what it is. As we go into injury time, 3-1 down, so we've managed to pull our socks up in the second half, and the second half is essentially 1-1. So it's not been dreadful. We're just not capable of competing with these teams over the 90 minutes, I think is the message. So we'll just get through to the end of full time. We'll get into the changing room. We'll try and keep morale as high as we can, and we'll go again in a home game against Inter Milan. So yeah, let's see what if that's put us in the relegation zone, if we're still just maintaining a spot just outside of there. Let's have a quick look now in the league table. Here it comes. So there we go. We're still 1 point clear. And regardless of what Empoli do, we'll be a point clear of the relegation zone. We're just past halfway through the season. So yeah, we're in with the shout. There are a couple of teams above us that we could maybe catch. I'm thinking Brescia, not many others. But I'll click through to the next game. Stay tuned and we'll see what the starting lineup is for the next match. Welcome back. This is before the next match. I just thought you'd bring you in here just to see this screen because I always find it quite interesting, and it always, to me, sums up a lot of the reason why you'll find it difficult when you're bouncing up division, especially if you do it in quick succession, is your wage budget. So for us, Vicenza, you've got £200,000 per week. Now, even if you go up to 16th, that's more than double our wage budget to Udinese in 16th. So outside of Perugia, there's no one really within touching distance of our wage budget. And when you're talking top of the league, who's at 3.3 million, I mean, that is an incredible amount. I mean, that's what 15, 16 times higher than our wages are. So that is where the difficulty lies. I just thought I'd bring that in to show you as an illustrative purposes, because I think it goes a long way to explaining how you find it difficult to bring in the right number of players to compete. But I'll carry on clicking through to the next game. I'll see you shortly. Welcome back. So here we go. I thought it was a home game, but it's worse. It's away at Inter Milan. So Grandi in goals, Ranieri and Sabelli in the full-back positions, Capelletti and El Ciro. So the back five pretty much unchanged. Proyer, Milanese and Van der Poel again unchanged. Traore, Yallo and Talmonti. So very much an unchanged side. We're not going positive mentality. We will go defensive. We'll try and frustrate them again for as long as we can. If we get to half time, we might get a little bit ambitious in the second half. I'm not quite sure why Omich got onto the bench, but we'll get Tronkin on there and get into the game. Again, not expecting too much from this. I showed you in that previous illustration in terms of wage budgets and players that are available, that we're just absolutely country miles behind some of these teams. And when you look at them on paper, Inter Milan and Vicenza, 9 times out of 10 there's only one winner, and that other 9th or 10th time you're probably going to get no more than a draw. But yeah, I still think we can stay up. I just think we've got to be realistic and expect no points for them from the majority of games, and them 3 or 4 teams down the bottom, if we can beat all them twice, that's 20 odd points. It's just a case of them picking up as many draws, lucky points here and there that you can. We've had a couple against Fiorentina. We've had a couple victories. We are into double figures on points. We just got to keep it going, trying to grind them out. Because again, in a game like this, I can't see much more than complete dominance from Inter Milan. Saying that, when we've got the ball with the goalkeeper, if he could hold on to that for 78 minutes, I'm pretty sure he'd be sent off. But again, it'd be worth the point. As the goal kick comes straight back as well. Inter Milan breaking down. Again, I mean, they've not got the most amount of players that I've heard of. Lautaro I have, Rafa I've never heard of, unless he's got a different name, but I'm hoping he was offside. We'll see. Linesman coming out, can he save us? Yes, he can. So we're still in the game, 13 minutes. And that's what that's what a true fan is. A true fan hoping for a 0-0 away at Inter Milan. That's a true lower league fan, isn't it? But again, no shots, none on target from either side. If we could get through 90 minutes of that, I'm sure you will be asleep, but I'll be bouncing off the walls. So it'll kind of balance itself out a little bit and we'll have a point to go in with. But yeah, players not playing too bad at the minute. Again, frustrating them, 68% percentage. And that is one encouraging thing, actually, is even against the better sides, we can hold on to the possession of the ball. I don't think you would see it too often in the Premier League if, for example, Crystal Palace wanted to frustrate Chelsea. I don't think Crystal Palace would come out with 70-80% possession of the football. I think it would just be absolute Chelsea dominance. So I would have expected Inter Milan to still have had the ball a lot more than they have as they put a corner into the box. And unfortunately, Lautaro Martinez has scored the goal to put them in front. And again, I can't really see too much of a way back in it for us now. We'll try and get to half time at 1-0 down and see if we can freshen things up and go a little bit more positive in the second half. But again, I just think it's a step too far at the current stage of this squad. I think we need another 5 or 6 top Serie A players before we can really start to compete. Again, I'd have to sit and go through all the scouting reports. I don't think we've got that many who are at current Serie A level. We certainly don't have 11 in there. We'll have a splatter of them. I would say maybe half are what the scouts would say performing at a Serie A level. And many of them won't be a decent or a lead-in. And that's where you need to be. You need to be leading Serie A players if you really want to compete at the top end. So half-time, only 1-0 down. It's not the end of the world. There are some positives to take from the game. We have limited them somewhat. At risk of upsetting the players, I'm not going to give them a get off scot-free with the worst team in the world, don't worry about losing speech. But we will go a little bit more balanced. We have had 1 shot on target in the whole game, which is only half what they've got, so there is always a chance we can create one free kick, well, here we go. Lautaro through on goals. He's gone wide. He's leapt on the floor like a salmon. I'm not convinced. I think he went down like a sack of onions. I'd book him, ref. I would definitely book him. No penalty. Where's his yellow card? Come on. I'm a bit upset that he didn't get a yellow card at least there for simulation, because that was a clear and obvious attempt to try and win a penalty. Disgusting behaviour. So coming up towards the hour mark, we're still in the game. Another corner for Inter Milan. And we've been undone from one corner. Hopefully we won't be undone by another. Again, we've got the ball. Our box, can we work a challenge of our own? That is probably our second shot on target. I don't know what he was thinking there. It was a little bit Hollywood. But yeah. Ned Lukaku back to the keeper. We've gone long again. And yeah, we're not even holding on to the football anymore. It's just going long and it's coming back with interest. Lautaro breaks through again, takes it over the keeper, and that puts the game to bed as far as I'm concerned. I think even with half an hour to go, I could have seen us getting 1 lucky goal from corner and free kick. I can't see us getting 2. Yeah, disappointing. We'll make some changes, put some fresh legs on, give some players who don't normally get a run out a bit of a run in the team. Let's get G-Check on for a run. Let's get Mancini on. See if we can pick up his fitness a little bit, get him playing a little bit better. And let's get Bruce kicking on. Who's not been happy because he's not a first teamer anymore. I don't blame him. If I was a player, I'd want to play every game. But we brought Sabelli in as a first teamer. Sabelli is a better player, both stats wise and ability wise. So I don't think Bruskigan has too much to complain about. But complain he does. and at risk of upsetting him, I told him he can leave, and that did upset him. So don't expect to see too much more of Brusque again as the season goes on. So 25 minutes to go, 2-0 down, all our changes made. We'll go a little bit positive, see if we can get ourselves a goal just to cheer us up. We'll give a bit of encouragement to the players who are out there. Hopefully they can go out and enjoy themselves, maybe create one chance to send the fans home with a little bit of inspirational hope that we can dig ourselves out of this rut, and we've got enough engine oil in the tank to get us a few more points. Again, let me know in the comment section how you think we're getting on. Are we doing better or worse than you anticipated? I think it's quite a jump. In some ways, I would say it's kind of a harder jump than it is from Championship to Premier League. But again, feel free to put in the comment section if you think I'm talking nonsense. I just think there is a huge gulf between Serie B and Serie A. Whereas when you look at the Championship now in England, a lot of them teams have been in the Premier League. And it's a very strong division. I'm not as sure that Serie B is as strong as maybe the Championship is. Lautaro through a chance for his hat-trick, and he's missed. Thank goodness, because it would have just added to the goal difference deficit we've got, which may be crucial at the end of the season, as we're not going to grind out too many points, so we need to keep goals low. As a corner comes in. What's this? Is this another VAR decision for a penalty? Have we got away with it the first time? We haven't got away with it the second time. Penalty, is he going to be on for his hat-trick? Will it be Lautaro taking it? Yes, it is. And yes, he's got his hat-trick, so... what we'd give for a player like that in our side who can score some goals. But there you go. It is what it is. We've got to make the most of it. We've got to dig deep and get some points. I've really got to look at that run of 5 games we've got coming up in a few games' time to really maximise as many points as we can to keep us safe and in contention for staying up. We'll just click through and have a quick look at the league table to see what we've got to deal with. I leave you to get through to the next episodes. I think there'll only be 2 more episodes of this series and then possibly a wrap-up event. So there you go. We're still a point clear of the relegation zone, although Genoa's game in hand may bring them above us. So yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm not quite sure. Maybe 38 to 40 points, similar to the Premier League, would be safety. So I'll see what we can do in the meantime. I'll just give you a quick look at the schedule to see what games we've got coming up. I mean, we've got Genoa next, which is a must-win. Perugia, Brescia, Spezia, Cagliari, Empoli. Ignore the Juve game because we probably lose that. But out of them games, I think we need about 5 wins. 15 points would kind of put us in a good position for the run-in. So I'll probably bring you back at Sampdoria, Roma. And you'll see whereabouts we are in the league and how pivotal them points may be. But once again, thanks for watching. Again, put comments in the comment section if you've got any questions or there's anything you'd like to see from this save. And until I see you again, take care and I'll see you soon.